Hello VC, hope you're all good. I thought I would make this little video about a topic that is often tackled on in the VC, which is online record buying. Most of the time it's kind of an introductory and basic advice that is certainly useful, but I thought I'd give a couple of advices that are more seldom tackled, and which are very useful in my opinion to music lovers and collectors who actually are quite hardcore about their search, their quests, and who often are buying a lot of records, cheap and very expensive. So the first thing I would advise, which is related to how much you're ready to pay and condition, how it relates and how you can impact on this in an effective way. So when you buy something on Discogs or on eBay at a fixed price or anywhere else basically, right before paying you should send a disclaimer to the seller, which stipulates that you expect to be able to resell the record the second you receive it, and advertise it in the same condition that the seller advertised it to you. Which implies that if you buy a near mint record and it's just VG Plus, you're fine with it. Like, you're just happy that the music sounds great, even if there's some light hairlines. Nope. You need to be really hard on this, because your taste might change. You might change your mind. You might be disappointed by the record. Or you might need to sell records because you need money. You might die and your family inherits the records. The end result of this, apart from pushing the sellers into being more thorough in their grading, is that more than often you will get records in a very decent shape, in a very acceptable shape. Maybe a record that you bought for one track, and this track plays perfectly, but there's a couple of tracks that there are like a few clicks and pops and stuff, or the cover, which is supposed to be really good, has a bumped corner or anything. Send an email when that happens to the seller, and calmly explain to the seller that you bought the record in this advertised condition and you received it in another. More than often, the seller will offer himself a partial refund, or even a better solution. In my experience, having bought hundreds, if not thousands of records online, when you do that, when you advertise your expectations to the seller, still 15% of the time you will get records that are overgraded, but in an acceptable condition. Be hardcore about it. Don't let it slide. That's a way to finance your record buying as well, and it's an honest one, because you need to be buying the record at the right price, and that is helping you achieve that goal. Now about finding the records. Of course, this technique works for any kind of records, for the cheap ones as the expensive ones. When you come to rare ones, and when I talk about rare ones, I mean invisible ones, not like this record that 10 people have as buy it now on eBay or on Discogs, but at an outrageous price, or just not at the price that you're willing to pay. I mean the records that you never see, because, well, it's Chilean free jazz or folk like record that has only one pressing, and that you stand the best chance to find either locally, which is not our case most of the time, if the earth is our playfield, then online is the only way. And as of now, the best chance you get, the biggest platform, is still eBay and Discogs. So what you need to do for these records that turn up so seldom, that you don't want to miss when they turn up, but you don't want to be swamped with email alerts as well. If you are looking for many different kinds of records, as myself, and your want list on Discogs is in the is more than 1,000 records. That's not manageable to get a list for every single record that gets relisted. So what you do is do a list. This is an option that has been available to Discogs users for quite a few years now. I guess like 5 years or so. So basically identify 50, 100 records that are the real deal for you, the stuff that you really don't want to miss. And just check this list every day as often as you can. This is way more manageable if it's in these numbers. And on these lists will appear the cheapest copy to sell. If it's a record that is never for sale, you will instantly see if a copy has been listed for sale. And it kind of is the same with eBay. You can have search alerts, which you can record up to 100, and basically it works the same way. But there you get email alerts for that, which is even more handful. But that way you won't miss the one time in your lifetime that this invisible record might turn up on your radar. And then it's just about you having rightly evaluated the value of the record. About that value of the record, sometimes these very rare records will be for sale on Discogs or on eBay, but at a price that you know doesn't match the demand. It's easy to figure it out. You have marketplace statistics about previous sales of this item. You can see the condition as well, and you can also see the ratio as of how many are after the record and how many have it in their collection, supposedly. Sometimes it's much less often, to be honest. And also, very important, when was the last copy sold? That can be also helped for eBay using a website called popsych.com. Popsych records previous sales on eBay, which can be used as a reference point for how much should this record cost. If the record hasn't sold for quite some time and there's a few copies available or one copy available and the price doesn't go down, get in touch with the seller. Ask him first if he would entertain offers, deals, trades. More than often you won't get anything, any response, but for the 15% times you will. That's worth it. And I would even advise you to sometimes, when you got this list of items that you are really after, and you see there's a bunch of them that always are available, like one copy or two copies, but at outrageous prices, every now and then make an outrageous offer. Send them. Every now and then someone will need the money, and you won't have done anything wrong. You would just have seeked the record and put yourself in a position to acquire it, and that's everything you should care about. With these basic and very pragmatic ways at approaching your grail searches, you will get more results. I know this all sounds very professional and analytical, but when you've been off the record for 30 years and plus, and there's these still invisible grails that have been bugging you for years, sometimes this little nudge that will be salvation. And on that note, I hope you're all good. I hope this was not a masochistic video. Hi, Davis. And that you got some insight from this. And please, if you got more such easy tricks but that are often overlooked, share in the comments and we'll discuss that further. On that note, get some records and don't fear being a little bit pushy and being very straight with your expectations. Bye, VC.